What's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dash, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make rage beats for Trippie Redd. Kind of like a lot of the snippets that he's been posting for his new album Trip at Night, and then obviously, like, you know, we all know it and love it, Mr. Rage, you know, crazy song. But yeah, I'm gonna kind of be breaking down that sauce for y'all, how you get those super catchy rage melodies and those fire rage drums. So if you like this type of content, make sure you subscribe because I post tutorials like this every week. Make sure you go hit the link for my drum kit that I just dropped. It's the first link in the description, and it has all of my go-to sounds, 15 hi-hat midis, and all my go-to mixing and mastering presets. So with all that said, I don't really have anything else to say. Let's just get straight into the video. All right, so the first thing that I'll do is I'll go ahead and pull up a sound from Serum. I really like this this Neptune lead. It's from a Shark Boy, Serum Bank. Shout out to Shark Boy, he's the GOAT for hyperpop melodies. One chord progression that I really like for these beats is called the 6-3-4. Called the 6-3-4 progression. So let me just give y'all a little bit of a music theory lesson. So when you are in a key, right? So let's use C major because that's a simple example. So when you're in C major, it's the easiest key because it's all white notes. So you have 8 notes, technically 7. In that scale, you have the 1, the 2, the 3, 4, 5, 6, and the 7. So when you do a 6-3-4 progression, you're gonna want to walk up to the 6, which in major C would be A, and then down to the 3, which would be an E, and then up to the F, which would be the 4. Yeah, so that sounds kind of dark, which can be cool if you're going for that type of vibe. But when you want to make a melody sound more happy, you just want to resolve back to the 1. A lot of the times that can help. So this is what it sounds like with resolving back to the 1. And then if you want to give it a little more flair, you can add a 2 as well. So kind of walk it back up. So this is what that would sound like. So yeah, you'll get the point. But the 2 in this context is obviously just D. This is the second note of the scale if you play the scale. So 6-3-4 is a fire chord progression. If you want to make it more happy, resolve back to the 1. So I'm gonna go ahead and play that out into my MIDI, and then I'll show y'all after you get the bass notes down how to actually stack the chords on top. So yeah, all I did there at the end was I went up instead of down to the 1, and then instead of going to that D, I went back to the 5, which we actually hadn't played yet. So I'll show you how to stack some chords on top of that now. So basically, when you're in a major scale, the 1 is major, the 4 is major, the 5 is major, and that's it. The 2, the 3, and the 6 are minor, and we're not going to worry about the 7 right now because that just gets a little complicated. It's called a diminished chord. So basically a minor chord is made by, it's all about the spacing. So a minor chord looks like this. Minor chord has 2 notes in between the 1st and the 3rd, and then it has 3 notes in between the 3rd and the 5th. A major chord on the other hand has the opposite. It has 3 notes in between the 1st and the 3rd and 2 notes in between the 3rd and the 5th. So if that sounds complicated, literally all you have to do to make a minor chord is just skip 2 and then skip 3. You know what I'm saying? So now that we know that, all we have to do is figure out, we know the 6 is a minor. We know that the 3 is a minor. So what you could actually do is literally just copy this chord over and then take it down to an E. Well, let me delete this E that I already have. Command Q to quantize everything. And then I'll also do Command L. So now that we have that minor chord, we can literally just copy that over and then take it down to an E. I just use Shift down arrow to move that down. And then this one is a major chord because, like I said, the 4 is major. So to stack a major chord, like I said, we skip 3 and then we skip 2. So now we can stack that chord. And we know that the 1 is major as well. So we can just go ahead and delete that note, copy over this chord, move it down to the 1. And now this is the 2, which we know is minor. So take that same thing and copy it. Or we can just use what we know, which is that we skip 2 and then skip 3. So now that we have that, here's what it sounds like. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy that over except for the last 2 chords because obviously those are different. Actually, they're not different. So I'll copy that over except for the last chord. So now what I'll do is I'll just take this and put it up an octave. And then we know this 5 is major. So again, we just skip 3 and then skip 2. And now we have a major chord. So here's what the whole progression sounds like with the chord stack. Pretty far. So now it sounds pretty good, but it still sounds a little bit blocky. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is take the middle note of each chord and use Command up arrow to put it up an octave. So this will basically invert the chords, which basically means that it will still be the same chord, the notes will just be on different octaves. So this gives it more of an open feel because there's more space in between the notes. So here's what that sounds like. And I honestly really like that progression, so I'm about ready to move on to the next sound. So I'll just copy that over using Command B, and then I kind of want to speed this beat up. Throw some effects on there. So I'll just use a little bit of an EQ to cut out some of the lows. I threw a fruity flanges on there. I don't know what it does. It just makes it sound cool. Turn that down. And the only other thing that I did is I just used this knob right here to separate it in the mix a little bit. All right, so now I'm gonna start layering some more sounds on top of that. All right, so I'm gonna add another instance of Serum and try to get a little bit of a counter melody going. I have a little bit of a melody in my head, so I'm gonna just draw it in. And then I'm gonna take this note and put it up on the second half. I'll throw some effects on there. I'll probably just copy over the same effects from here. I'm gonna add another synth and just keep layering sounds. I got another lead pulled up from Shark Boy's Bank. I'm gonna copy over the same effects. I like that pattern, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw some distortion on there. That's one super fire thing you can do for rage beats is distort your synths. It makes it sound super like ragey, I don't even know. I'm gonna layer a bass on top of that. I'm gonna use Command L to make those notes touch. All I did there is I just used this knob to make the bass more like close in your ears, separate it from the mix. That's honestly enough, so I'll go ahead and render that out and then I'll be right back. So before we cook up the drums, it's always important to add an EQ, cut out some of the lows of your melody. I'm gonna drop my master preset on the master, up your drum smack, and then do the Dash 2021 Stash Kit. So yeah, let's just get to cooking. Also, one very important thing that I forgot to mention about the melodies in the first part is that you always wanna leave space. So like if you look like right here, there's literally nothing playing, like nothing. Like it's just completely empty space. This happens in a lot of rage melodies and it just sounds absolutely insane. So I'm gonna just start cooking up some drums. Let's get into it. Pull up a clap. Turn that down a little bit. Okay, so when you have the space in the melody, it's also important to have that same space in the drums. So I'll show you what I mean. So you see how the drums stop when the melody stops? That's extremely important to have, especially with the hi-hats. You do not want to have the hi-hats going the whole time if you want like a bouncy rage beat. So I'm gonna use Alt R to randomize those hi-hats a little bit. And I'm gonna change that second roll to, I'm gonna go up to my magnet, change it to 1/6 beat, and then just, that's fire. So I'll just copy that over. I'm gonna add a bomb in the beginning. Another common thing in these rage beats is also that the snare is sometimes louder than the clap, so I'll show y'all what I mean. So a good snare for this is the No Lie snare from my kit. So see how the snare is like a little bit louder than the clap? That can give the beat a crazy bounce and make it feel like, it just makes it feel like the clap's not hitting in the same spot every time. It feels like there's like a little snare hit to alternate it a little bit. I'm gonna add an open hat. I'm gonna copy that over. I'm gonna pull up this hi-hat preset from my kit and then drop it on there just to give the open hat a little bit more high end. That's fire. I'm gonna pull up this one shot from Shark Boy's kit. Shout out to Shark Boy. Just pull up this. It's fire to use basses that aren't an actual like 808 in these type of beats. If I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna take out this last snare. Now I'm gonna go ahead and cut the lows out on that bass and then add a love filter, go to presets, simple low pass. Well, I think it's time for the 808. So I'm gonna pull up this 808 from my kit, Short Zay 808, turn the volume up and then turn the velocity up. And literally if we had our melody, we can literally just follow the root notes of the chords. So we know it's a 6, 3, 4. And then a 1. And then I'll move this note up a little bit. And then move this up to a G. Now I'll just copy that pattern over, do Command L to make all the notes touch. And then I think I want to also add another 808. Pull this main 808 up and then take some of the notes from this 808. So and then put them into this other 808. I like that. I'm gonna turn the envelope a little bit to make them hold for as long as I want them to. So the way you do that is by turning everything except for the hold down and turn the hold all the way up. That'll make it to where you can control how long the note lasts. I'm gonna turn this 808 up a little bit. I kind of mess with the double hit, so I'm gonna do it on both. And then obviously you already know I gotta add that camera flash from Mr. Rage. Something like that. Maybe shorten it up a little bit. Maybe we'll grab the exact camera flash. That goes crazy, so I'm gonna go ahead and arrange that out and then I'll be right back. All right, I just arranged out the beat. It's absolute gas, like I always say, bro. It goes crazy. Definitely sounds like something that Trippie would hop on. Let me know if y'all were messing with it down in the comments. Again, if you like this type of content, subscribe because I post a new tutorial every week. Make sure to hit up the link to my drum kit if you're interested in that. If you wanna buy this beat, I'll have a link in the description for that too. Comment down below what you wanna see next because I'm not saying I'm running out of ideas, but just comment down below what you want to see next. See y'all in the next one. Peace.